All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Sue Brook, and I'm going to mute everybody first of all, so we can everybody save your questions, put your questions in the chat. That's what the chat is for. It's not to be bantering back and forth, but to actually, if you could put the questions in there, then we can see them and we can try to answer them as we go through. But I want to welcome everybody for being here. I'll introduce myself, and then I'll pass it to Sherry and then Jason, and he can kick it off. Is that okay with you guys? All right. So my name is Sue Brook. I have been a member on Alignable for many, many years, over 10 years now. I have a crazy story on how I got here, and now I'm a part of the Alignable team. But today I am sharing my top secrets on my favorite topic, which is networking, because that's how I grew all of my businesses, through building relationships and networking. So I'm excited for this event. I'm just going to pass it over to Sherry.
Hey everyone, if you don't know me, I am Sherry Pedrioli, not an employee of Alignable, but love the platform. It's my people. It's where I hang out. And I'm going to be talking today with my favorite topics is relationship marketing and follow-up and how it works together to build a phenomenal business. So I am a relationship marketing expert who specializes in gratitude marketing.
Awesome. Jason. You are muted.
Look at that rookie mistake already, right? So I'm Jason Integrity. I'm a sales strategist. I work with my clients to help them with their marketing and sales conversation. No pitching, no trying to close. Don't try to be the Wolf of Wall Street, but have a regular conversation with real people. And surprisingly, how great that works. I have the honor today of working with Sherry and Sue again. We did this event before as a summit here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was fantastic. It was a good turnout, a lot of great energy. So if you do not have a pen and paper or ready to take notes, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to go get it because it's going to be a lot of information available. Um, Sue is a beacon of the platform, and if you find Sue, then you're in the right place. So for those of you who are new to the platform, find Sue, find Sherry, you're in the right place, and just shut up and listen, and it's going to be a bunch of good information on how to network, how to navigate the platform, things you should be doing as you build your brand. So I don't know if you all caught it, but it was in a very nonchalant way. Sue said, all of my businesses, which means she has done this a bunch of times. So pay attention. Sherry Petrioli puts up MBA numbers all the time. I'm astounded by what she does on the construction side. It's fantastic. So I like being a student as much as I like coaching, probably more because it's so much good information from these two dope women. So as we get into this, we're going to talk about networking and connecting with people and follow up and relationship marketing and looking for your ideal customer. Uh, um, this is not just terms that we throw out just because it sounds cool, but if you are paying attention, if you are literally thinking about these things and make it a part of your process, it works 100% of the time. So many of us go into this business world and it's like, okay, I got my business name and my email and let me go out here and sell some stuff, and you don't know exactly who you should be talking to. You don't know how to position yourself in the marketplace. So you go and you look at all of the competition and you look at what they're doing, then you try to be them, and then in the process of you trying to be them, you lose yourself, and now you have to figure out a way to differentiate because you sound just like everybody else, and that's not special. So when you show up, you are already unique. You already have your voice. So keep that in as part of the process. This is where your authenticity comes in, right? So we're going to start this off with Sue, and she's going to talk about your ideal customer and how to have that laser focus as you are weeding through the weeds of this business world and all these networking functions and who should I be talking to and who should I partner with. She's going to kick this off. Okay, that was a little bit more than 3 seconds, so you should have at least a pen. So Sue's going to kick this off, and then we're going to keep this thing going.
All right. Oh, Jason, you're the best. Okay, here we go. Get ready with your pen, paper, and you're ready to take notes. So today's very first virtual event that we're doing together called the Ultimate Networking Blueprint. Welcome, everyone. So I'm going to start by getting ready to network. So I'm going to start with the getting ready part and go through some very, very key things that you really have to do before you even start going out networking. And then I'm going to pass it over to Jason to get into the intentional networking to make sure you're doing it the right way. So here we go. First of all, I've been in business for many, many, many years, over 40 years. That makes me sound pretty old, but I kind of am. I started my first business back when I was about 22 years old. It was a ballroom dance studio back in the middle of Nebraska. And I learned a lot about business because I went to school to be an elementary school teacher, believe it or not. So I had to learn all about business by jumping in with both feet right away with a brand new business. So a lot of the things that I've learned, I have still done over the years that work for me, which is networking and building relationships. So let's get ready to network. Are you ready, everyone? Okay. And we're going to talk about networking. And all of this really works either in person or online. I want to start out, I always tell everybody, you have to have the right intention before you go out networking. And this is especially on Alignable too, since we're all like majorly invested in Alignable. It's very, very important, as you're going to see, I'll show you at the end, why all of this works. If you know all the things I'm going to talk about today, how it's going to help you be ready to network on Alignable. So first of all, every person you meet, I call a contact. You make contact with somebody, okay? You meet them. Hi, my name is Sue. Hi, my name is Jason. Nice to meet you. Now, every person that you meet, I don't care if it's on Alignable or in line at Starbucks or whatever, that person could fall into one of these two buckets, either that little blue bucket you see there, the small one, or that big purple bucket. Well, let's start with the little bucket. I call that the prospect bucket. That person that you meet might possibly someday turn into a customer. It's a possibility, but it's a pretty small possibility, to be honest with you. I like to go big or go home myself. So I like the big purple bucket. I call that the referral bucket. Think about this. You might meet a person that may not become a customer of yours, but they might know all of your ideal customers. They might be really, really invested in networking and they run across your ideal customers all the time and they can tell everyone about you. That's your golden ticket right there, is meeting those referral partners. So we're going to talk today about your ideal customers and who your ideal referral partners are. You meet a lot of people out there in the world, but every once in a while you meet the person that is your most profitable customer. Okay, that's the one that you want to focus on. And it's the one that if you focus on that person and you learn all about them and how to speak to them, then your marketing efforts are going to attract more of those people. So why is all the stuff I'm going to talk about today so important? I'm going to cover a lot of these little issues here. Number one, if you don't know this stuff, if you're not really this good at it, how on earth can you explain to your referral partners exactly who you want to meet and how and where to find them? If you're networking and you meet somebody and they say, who's your ideal customer? If you cannot in one or two sentences explain who that perfect ideal customer is, then how are you going to expect them to go find them for you? Okay. Next, if you don't know and truly understand everything about that ideal customer, then how are you going to market to them in a way that speaks directly to them, where they're going to actually hear you? Next, you just might find a new perspective today on who your ideal customer truly is. And there's a little hint here. It might not be who you think it is. Once you know all of this and you're really, really good at nailing that down, it's going to be so easy for you to find potential customers and actually attract them to you. And most importantly, you're going to be able to craft all the right marketing messages that's going to make them want what you're offering. So it's not just for networking. This is also going to be for your marketing efforts as well. Now, what's an ideal referral partner? Well, I kind of nailed it down to two, especially on Alignable. There's two pretty distinct referral partners. I say the first one is people that you meet while you're networking and you build a relationship with those people. You find the ones you know, you like, you trust, and they like and trust you, and they'll refer the people that they're meeting to you. Okay, so that's one. The second one is people who have businesses that actually serve your ideal customer, but they're not a competitor. For example, my friend Guy Kelly owns Bouquet Canyon Kennels. It's a pet boarding facility. Okay, she boards all kinds of pets. Well, it's a lot for her to go out and try to find people with pets that need a place to board them. However, her best referral partner is really easy because this is a business whose every single one of their customers owns a pet, and that's a veterinarian, and they're not competitors. Get it? So she knows that veterinarians always get asked if they can refer a pet boarding facility to them. And Ligaya, in her pet boarding facility, she gets asked almost every day if she can refer a veterinarian to them. So that is the perfect referral partner. So you really want to dig into this, and I'm going to get into this throughout this little talk here. Okay, so let's start with your ideal customer because you have to understand them really, really well before you can even go and find your referral partners. Now, I'm going to tell you what your ideal customer is not. First, it's not your target market. My good friend John, who has been my mentor for many years on this exact topic, says target markets don't have credit cards. People have credit cards. So you have to market to a person, not to a market of people. And it's not everybody or anybody with skin, for example. Okay? Because if you're marketing, and Jason says this all the time, if you market to everyone, you're marketing to absolutely no one because they aren't going to hear you, like I said. Now, who is your ideal customer? I kind of got three things that will nail down who your ideal customer is. First of all, it's someone who actually needs what you're selling, your product or service. They can afford it and they're willing to buy it. Sometimes a person may not really be able to afford it, but think of Starbucks, okay? A lot of people really can't afford Starbucks, but they find a way to buy it because they want it really, really bad, right? They'll spend $10 for a cup of coffee. So you got to think about that. Whoops. Okay. Now, what you want to do is create an ideal customer avatar. Now, what's a customer avatar? So if you work with a marketer, they're going to ask you who your ideal customer avatar is. So it's a marketing term. So let me give you kind of an example. First of all, an ideal customer avatar is a representation of your ideal customer. So what you do is you do all your research to find that customer, and then you have a description of that ideal customer. Each one, now it focuses on one person. And of course, I know we all have multiple avatars. Of course, you have multiple ideal customers. Okay. You might have one, you might have 10, but you have to focus when you're getting ready to craft those marketing messages. You have to focus each one of your marketing messages on speaking to one person because they're all different. Why is that? Look at this. Just this picture alone tells you all of these people might be your ideal customers, but they're all very, very different and they speak a different language. I mean, just men and women alone speak different languages, right? You talk to a man a little bit different than you talk to a woman. It's just they're going to hear you depending on what you're going to talk about. Plus, all these people have different challenges and things they care about that you could address. Maybe what you're selling actually addresses those issues. Now, which one do you focus on first? Well, I would tell you to focus on the most profitable one first. I would find the one that's going to make the most profit in your business and start there. So we're going to start there. Now, how do you do that? I'm going to give you a little story. This is a story that my friend John, I always talk about him a lot because he has some really great stories. He is a digital marketer. He used to do SEO for different people. And so he would always ask his clients, because he would craft their marketing messages to get them to rank high on Google. And so he had different customers that or clients that he worked with. And one of them, he was talking to him and he asked him, he said, well, who's your ideal customer? And the guy said, well, everybody. And John laughed at him and said, sorry, everybody is not your customer. And he said, but I sell water. And so it's like, oh, okay, well, everybody does need water. But then John went to another, he kind of went to another level. He said, okay, well, let's think about this. Exactly who is it that's going to buy this water? Well, the guy had a bottle of water that it was special. It's a special bottle of water that helped with different things, okay, different issues. So he said, okay, picture this. You have 3 people standing in front of you that that might buy your water. Okay, your water costs $20 a bottle. Okay, it's this bottle of water costs 20 bucks. So the first potential avatar was a girl that loves the environment. She cares a lot about the environment. She has her spring water that she drinks, and she doesn't like plastic, so the water might have been in a plastic bottle. So she does like water, but is she going to spend 20 bucks for that bottle of water? Probably not. It's going to be a pretty small percentage of those people that are going to buy the water. The next person is this guy who he's ready to win a marathon. Like, he's a workout guy. He's going to run this marathon. He wants to win this race really bad. It's super important to him. And the water that you're selling, that water can help with endurance. It might actually help him win the race that he's getting ready for. So what are the chances he would spend 20 bucks on the bottle of water? Well, he probably will if he wants to win that race bad enough, because there's a lot of crazy people that are really focused on working out and winning races. So he might buy the water while he's training for that event, but maybe when he's not, he won't buy it. So it's like a 50-50 chance. But the third person that might be a potential ideal customer is actually really sick. They might even be dying. But that water could put them on the earth a few days, weeks, years longer. It could actually save their life. What if that water could save that person's life? You tell me how many pallets of that water that person's going to buy. So that's an extreme example, but think about that in your business. Who is that person that just will write the check? Okay. Now, okay. How do you discover your ideal avatar? It's based on research, not just your own opinion and perception. And I'm going to tell you that I learned this the hard way, because when I sold my school, I had my school, I had 2 locations. I was a busy business owner, and I sold that, and I was starting a brand new business, which was what I wanted to start at the beginning. My first idea was I wanted to help people get started in a business, people that wanted to start a business. I wanted to coach them. So my friend John asked me the question, who's your ideal avatar? And I was like, oh, I know who it is. He goes, did you do the research? I said, no, I just know. I was really adamant, because I said, oh, it's a woman over 40. She has been a stay-at-home mom for so many years. Her kids went to college. I had a whole list. I knew exactly who it might be, because I had a tutoring business. And I knew that there were some of those people that wanted to start businesses. And he said, let's do the research and try to figure it out. And so I did all the things that he said to do. I did the research, and guess what? I was completely wrong. I found out by all my researches, I found out that those people that I thought, those women I thought were searching for learning how to start a business, was very, very low. It was completely opposite. It was a younger man who'd gone to college to be a rocket scientist or whatever, and decided he could make more money starting a business. So it was a completely different customer avatar that I even thought. So you have to do the research. Now, before I get into how to do that, your avatar might not be who you think it is either. So this is a good example. So realtors, there's a lot of realtors out there. There's probably some of them listening or watching this today. So there's a lot of competition in real estate. We all know that, right? Well, I'll give you an example of what happened with me. So my younger sister and I found out that my father had dementia. And he lived in Nebraska by himself in the house that he'd lived in forever. And we had to go back to Nebraska, fly back there, and we had to sell his house because we had to move him to a memory care facility. So we were selling our dad's house. Well, what we found is there was all these advertisements for realtors because all these realtors wanted to help us sell the house. But all their advertisements were focused on the marketing was for the person selling the house. But we found a realtor that was advertising that they helped the kids of a senior that needed to go to a facility. I mean, their marketing messages spoke our language. They understood what we were going through, and we chose that realtor. Do you get it? So your marketing has got to speak to the person you're actually looking for. Now, how do you get to know your ideal customer? All right. First of all, if you already have one, which many of you have a business, you've had one for a long time, figure out who that ideal customer is or customers and set up some time and talk to them and interview them. Get to know them, ask them questions, get to know them on a really, really deep level. What do they care about? What are their biggest challenges? Just interview them. The next thing you can do is spy on your successful, that's the key word, by the way, successful competitors and any businesses who serve that same ideal client as you do. I will tell you that when I used to have just a tutoring business. Parents would bring their kids to me, they would get tutored, and then their parents would pick them up and send them and take them home. It was like just 1 hour. But there was a time that I had some things happen with my business, and I had to really quickly start an after-school program where we picked up kids from school, we brought them back, and then their parents would pick them up because they would drive really 2 or 3 hours to LA and back to where we were outside. I was outside of Los Angeles. So we had to have an after-school program. Well, I didn't know anything about after-school programs. It was kind of dropped in my lap. It was something that happened that I had to add this to my tutoring program. So what I did is I went out and I looked around and I found the competitors, the other after-school programs that were really, really successful. And I just looked at their marketing messages. I looked at their websites. I looked at everything. I even talked to some of them. I went and visited them. And guess what? I made my after-school program better and different. And guess what? They became my best referral partners. That's another thing I'll talk about later. The last thing you can do for research, there's Google. You can easily research on Google. There's paid tools that you can use. I think there's probably still, it used to be Google Keyword Planner. You could go and you could search for and find out what the most people were searching for on Google. But now you guys have it so easy. Back then it took a month for me to do my research. Now you can just go to ChatGPT, go find a really great AI expert, and they can help you find those ideal customers and even craft the marketing messages for you. So there's a lot of great, easy things you can find there. Okay. While you're doing this, you want to build a customer profile. So this is an example. I just went on Google and typed in my ideal customer avatar worksheet, and you can actually download there's all kinds of them, but you really want to know, like if you look at this one, there's a lot of details about this person, this potential avatar. But here's some of the things you need to know. What their needs and wants are. You have to know that. You can't guess. You can't argue with them. You have to know what their needs are and what their wants are. What are their pain points in their business? What keeps them up at night? Okay. What are those so that you can speak to them? What motivates them? What gets them excited? And once you know all of these things, among other things, if you look at the sheet there, once you know all of this stuff and you have a profile built, you can really easily create marketing messages that will actually attract the right and the most profitable customers to you. And why is that so important? Because once you know who your ideal customer is, you can easily figure out where the heck they hang out. Where can you find them? It's very easy. All right. So it's like a lot of people think, oh, I have to be on every single social media platform that's out there. No, you do not. You have to figure out where those customers are and go there. If you're going to go networking, figure out where they're located. So when I had my new business, which was business marketing and consulting after I sold my school, I knew that going to Chamber of Commerce meetings and any other networking groups was where business owners hung out. So that's where I went networking. But let's say your ideal customer is a veterinarian or a chiropractor or something. There's associations for everything. Go find them. Another example is if we go when there's the first lady that one of the first people that I met on Alignable was Donna Declutter. She was she still is, I guess, a professional organizer. And she's so successful. And I watched and saw and talked to her a lot. And she networks at real estate, every single real estate meeting. She joins their association. She goes networking with them because they're her very, very, very best referral partners. So that's what you want to figure out. Who's that ideal customer and referral partner, and where do they hang out, and go hang out with them. And also, of course, when you get that marketing message right, you can clearly describe who it is you want to meet to your ideal referral partner. And that's really, really important all the time, but especially on Alignable. On your profile, you have a place to do that. Now, what can happen when you get it right? I haven't showed this on some of my other things before, but this is an example. This was my after school program and tutoring program that I owned for many, many years in Santa Clarita, California. It was called Care Learning Academy. I had SCV tutors, and then it morphed into an after school program. We had summer camps, we had a private school, we had a huge learning center. And I had to come up with my marketing message for this new after school program. So here's what I knew. I had been in the just regular tutoring business for so long, and I was a teacher for so long, that I knew one of the biggest heartaches and challenges that every parent had when they would call me for tutoring, and it was homework. Every parent that called me would just be in tears, some of them literally crying because they couldn't help their kid with homework. It was the biggest headache for all of these parents, okay? So I knew that. Now I created an after school program. I went and researched all of my competitors, and I found out that they would go pick up kids from school, bring them back to their center, and they just let them play until the parents got home. And then the parents would be fighting with their kid with homework. So then they'd call me, and they'd have to it'd be 6 o'clock at night, and they'd have to bring their kid for tutoring, so that by the time they got home, they'd just stop at McDonald's on the way home and put their kid to bed. It was terrible. So here was my marketing message. I went, how can I help solve the problem? So what I did is I added the service for my after school program, that we were going to pick the kids up from school and bring them back, and we were going to get all their homework done for them before the parents picked them up, so that they could go back home and just have time with their family and not worry about homework. So this was my marketing message. No more homework headaches. Get your family time back. That was it. This was the marketing message that blew up my business, blew it up. I would get parents calling me in tears saying, I have a headache. I really need you. How much do I write the check for? When can we start? Like, it was that easy. I mean, it literally attracted the clients to me. But here's the thing. The message does not say anything about tutoring. It's time with family that they want to buy. They're not buying tutoring. They're buying time with family. Is that making sense to you? That's why you have to figure out exactly what they want. They wanted time with their family, that they didn't have to cry and fight over homework. So my marketing message is selling family time, not tutoring. Does that make sense? So this is what you want. You want that golden marketing message that you could say to anyone. And when I would go networking in the town, I would just stand up during the 30-second elevator pitches, and I'd just say, no more homework headaches, get your family time back. That's all I'd say. And I'd get people coming up to me, oh my God, I have a headache. Or they knew somebody. Isn't that fun? Okay. When you identify your most profitable avatar, every single thing will change when you get it right. So I'm going to give you another. This is not my story, but I love this story. And I think it's going to make you guys all think for a minute. So this is, again, my friend John's story. He had a client that he was doing the SEO and marketing for him. And the guy, his business was selling water park things like toys, like fins, masks, snorkels, rafts, anything that was water toys, I guess you could say. And he would sell them to these big resorts. Like I'm in Scottsdale right now, there are resorts everywhere. He would go to these resorts and sell that stuff. That was his business. And he did really well. And one day John said, what is the thing that you sell that makes the most profit in your business? And he said, water slides. And John says, water slides? I didn't know you could do water slides. He goes, yeah, actually, I love building water slides. So, and I make a really good profit on that. So John changed his entire marketing message for him and put it up on, I think, a Thursday or a Friday. And on Saturday morning, the guy his client got a phone call. And the phone call, the girl said, hi, this is Celine Dion. And he hung up on her because he thought it was a joke. And thank goodness Celine Dion called back. It was really Celine Dion and said, oh, I think we got cut off. And the guy realized it was her and said, oh, how can I help you? And she said, well, I'm in Las Vegas and I want a water slide built in my backyard in Las Vegas. And he said, and so they started talking. He said, how'd you hear about it? And he goes, well, she said, I found you on Google. You were the first one with the marketing message. I need a water slide. And so that afternoon, she literally flew him to Vegas. They made a deal. And for $1 million, he built this water slide in her backyard. $1 million. One client. He went from selling all these fins, masks, snorkels, these little tiny things to all these people and going out working so hard selling all these little things to one client making $1 million. Okay, now that's just one tweak to the marketing message. But that's not where it all stopped. He went back to John like right away and told him what happened. He said, and he said, I want to build water parks now. And John's like, you can build water parks? He goes, yeah, I love it. I have all the vendors and everything. And so he changed the marketing message again. And a few weeks later, his client called and said, you're not going to believe this, but I got a client who is, and they're going to spend $100,000 for me to build a water park in Dubai. $100 million, sorry, $100 million for a water park in Dubai, one client. So I know that's a huge thing, but think what you could do if you just changed your marketing message a little bit. So amazing. I don't know if you guys have read Timothy Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Work Week, but imagine this. If he wrote, I think he did this. His first book, I believe, I couldn't find the exact one, but it was something like, the one on the thing, outsourcing for dummies. It was the book about this book is about outsourcing, about outsourcing work that you don't want to do to give you more time to do the things that you love to do. But nobody bought the book before. But all he did was change the title of the book to The 4-Hour Work Week. People didn't want to buy outsourcing. They wanted a 4-hour work week. And now it's I don't know how many billions of copies he sold. So just change your marketing messages a little bit. And my final story is my favorite. This is my friend Fran. If you have not met Fran, she is all over Alignable. She's amazing. And I think she's on this call today. But Fran has a business called, she's gone by Fran the Spice Lady. She's doing some other things now, but here's what happened. So Fran came to me years ago, and I knew her from back when I had my tutoring business, and we would go networking together. And she came to me one day. She's a serial entrepreneur. She's started lots of businesses. She's a product person, so she creates a lot of cool products. And she comes up to me and she goes, Sue, I have this great product. And she knows everything about spices and herbs. She knows that garlic helps with certain things and turmeric and all these. She knows everything. She's an expert in anything for health benefits of different spices and herbs. And she said, I created this blend of spices that'll help you get healthy, Sue. So she gives me the package that was just basically something like smoothie spices for health benefits. And I was like, oh, thanks, Fran. And I took it home and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm already healthy. I don't need this. And I don't drink smoothies. So I put it in my cupboard for years. She didn't even know that. And so one day we're talking because we became friends, and I was telling her about my dad who got dementia. And I was so scared. I said, Fran, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to get this. I hope it's not something that I'm going to get because my dad did, because it's really a terrible thing. And she said, oh, Sue, I've got it. Let me create something for you. So she created a blend of spices that helped with brain health. So she created healthy brain spices or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, how many can I buy? Because that was really, really important to me. That was like the thing that made me in tears, not wanting to get, I wanted my brain to be healthy. Then we started talking, and I said, you know, Fran, one of the biggest search terms on YouTube is how to get rid of belly fat. And she's like, oh, I could create that. I can create a belly fat spices. And so that was the start of this, where she created all these spices, all for different health benefits. And the best story is this. I was down there where she lives, and I was at my friend's house, and my friend and her husband were in their mid-80s. And I was telling them that Fran was coming over. I was going to introduce them to my friend Fran. And I was telling her about the belly fat spices. And then I told her that she had just gotten a review from a guy who had written a review saying, oh my gosh, I bought these belly fat spices and it really helped take an inch or whatever off my belly. But guess what? It's helping me sleep better. And my friend literally started crying and said, oh my God, could she please bring some? I have horrible insomnia. I wake up at 2 every morning. I can't get back to sleep. Can she please bring me some? And then I told her, then her husband has diabetes. And I said, oh, she has some for that too. So this is what changed everything for her. So then she decided, well, that's a lot of work to make all these spices. So she actually just wrote a book this last year called Secrets to Become a Super Ager, and it teaches people how to blend their own spices for health benefits. So really excited for Fran and her book. And I just want you to think, how can you change this? So to end all of this, why is this important on Alignable? Real quick, next week on the 25th, write this down. Make sure that you find the launch party. This is all going to be I can't even tell you how amazing this is being upgraded. But right now, you can go to your network page, and you can, if you have on your profile, you told Alignable who your ideal customers and referral partners are, then all of this will work for you. This is all AI generated. That will help you find your ideal customers and referral partners on Alignable as long as you fill it out on your profile. So you just go to my network, it sorts your entire network with who your ideal customers and referral partners are. And then you can actually, this is the power of Alignables. Then you're going to learn how they've upgraded this next week. But you can also look into other people's networks, like this Jay guy, and see that he has people in his network who fit my ideal customers and referral partners. I can click on see matches, and I can go look at his network, which is your second degree. So this is why you want to get all of this right. Now, you can screenshot this, but a few things. You can, these are just, yes, just screenshot it so you have all of these QR codes, but you want to get involved in the Member Success Network, which is very exciting. This is a members only group on Alignable, and I'll share these all in the chat after when Jason gets started here. But you want to be upgrade to be a member of Alignable so that you can be in this group with Sherry and I and Jason and all the other serious business owners. And I just want to share one quick thing. I'm celebrating the launch of my book this week. It just went to #1 in 4 categories, so I'm so excited. But you guys can this is my free offer to you guys. Everyone has a chance to download and get the free Kindle version until Saturday. You got to get it really quick. So if you want these QR code, you can get my book for free, which talks about it's also about networking with heart. So I'm going to pass this over to the amazing Jason Integrity. I'm going to stop my share, and I hope that helped you guys. Now I'm going to turn over to Jason, who's going to take all of this information. If you get this right, he's going to show you what to do with it all. So thank you guys. Jason, take it away.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So in the chat, I want you to put your biggest takeaway from what Sue was talking about. What stood out to you the most? Throw it in the chat real quick. What's dope about having these events is that it's not just the data that we put out, but it's the stories, right? It's the application of all of the information. You know, to go from selling swimming supplies and pool stuff to getting $1 million contract to getting $100 million contract is ridiculous. Like half of us are like, I'm in the wrong business, man. Let me figure out how to make a pool or buy a floaty or something, right? So all of that is stupendous. That was excellent, Sue. So now we're going to talk about networking once you understand this part, right? And how to network intentional. So I'm gonna throw something in the chat before I start. This is a marketing checklist that I created for you. And then let me share. We have so many of these platforms that we use, right? So it's like Zoom and Butter and all these things you forget. All right. Am I sharing?
It just says has started screen sharing. It's not showing up for me yet.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
All right. So now we're going to talk about how to network intentionally, right? You should be doing everything intentionally, quite honestly, right? There should be some thought into how you move and how you eat and how you work and who you talk to and who you connect with. And not so much just out here just freelancing your life, but moving with intent, understanding what am I going to do before I get into this situation. And then that way you are ahead of the game and life isn't a surprise and you have a contingency for whatever it is you run into. Can you tell I'm a strategist? So the goal is to move with intention, right? So when we apply this to networking, it's a completely different monster, right? So for those of you who haven't met me, I'm Jason Integrity. I'm a sales strategist. I'm a vet. I was in the Army. Go Army! If anybody in here was in the Army, I'm an ambassador for Charlotte, North Carolina. You can find out more about me at jasonintegrity.com. Cool. So I'm going to go over the overview of the importance of networking, what to do prior, during, and post networking, how not to be a goofball. We'll dig into that quite deeply. When we finish all of this, we're going to do a Q&A, and if we got time, we can put it all into action at the end. So why are we networking, right? So networking needs to be a part of your customer journey. How am I attracting clients? You really want to attract potential customers and attract these relationships to you, as opposed to knocking on every door and bugging people and cold calling and all the weird stuff that they told us to do when we first got into sales. So it is 2025. We have to upgrade our methods. We cannot do the stuff that worked in the 80s because things are different now. You know, there was a time when cold calling was a thing that you had to do, and people would pay a lot of money for the Glengarry leads, right? So you could call and get to whoever it is the ideal customer is. But things are different now. People got caller ID and they're busy. So you want to put your intention on attracting people to you, attracting people to the good work that you can do because you can solve their problem. And like Sue was talking about earlier, understanding your ideal customer target market, however you say it, understanding that you understand their problems, and then now you can pull them into the conversation. That was a great example when Sue talked about the parents with the homework, right? The problem was I'm spending so much time with this headache. The solution is let me help you with the tutoring, right? So people don't necessarily know what they need, but they know exactly what the problem is, right? So this should be ingrained into your customer journey, and this is how you pull people into it. So this is why we network, because as we have this conversation, it comes out during the conversation. There's a lot of hidden opportunities in networking, and you want your name mentioned in rooms that you aren't in. And I think that is the best part of networking. If you have a solid network, and if somebody needs a thing that you do and you are connected to a good person in that room, they're going to bring you up because they know a guy, right? So you want to have a solid reputation and connect with people. So all of these things go together, and like it or not, we are all in the relationship business. It doesn't matter what you sell. It doesn't matter if you only sell online. You still have to build and nurture relationships along the way. So the big four, right? We're talking about customers, strategic partners, referral partners, and the goofballs, right? So you're going to run into these as you network. And the goal is to be prepared for the conversation. So this is the checklist that I just put in the chat. This gives you the some guidelines and just prepping for the events, right? Understanding why you do what you do. These are the things that you should be talking about. If you have an elevator pitch, throw it away. Do not elevator pitch people in 2025. You know, and you can tell the ones who are elevator pitching because they're just standing there waiting for their turn to talk. What I challenge you to do the next time you run into somebody who is giving you an elevator pitch, interrupt them halfway through the pitch. They're not going to know what to say after that. You're going to completely throw them out. It's the funniest thing to do at a networking event because they're not there to engage. They're not there to build. They don't care about what you do. It's a bunch of goofball behavior. So they're just waiting to pitch you. And at a networking event, you should be there to network, not sell stuff. And when you run into people who just want to sell stuff, the conversation will always be about them. So don't be that person, right? Understanding what problems that you can solve. So just like Sue was saying earlier, and I just reiterated, people understand their problems. They know the problem they have. They don't necessarily know how to solve it, or if your suggestion is going to solve the problem. But if you can say, do you have this problem? Yes, I have that problem. Do you have this problem? Yes, I have that problem too. Okay, here's how we fix the problem. And now they're ready to engage because nobody wants to keep a problem, right? And in understanding your target market, ideal customer, it's a thing of knowing that this group of people all have this problem. So let me go here and start a conversation with them and see what happens, right? You want to establish your brand. Who are you? What do you stand for? That's your brand, right? So when we're talking about on a personal level, you know, this is the type of energy that you put out. And this is attractive if you're putting out good energy. Good energy attracts good energy 100% of the time. If you're a negative Nancy, then nobody is going to want to talk to you, right? It's like every time I see this person at a networking event, all they do is complain. So you want to put out good energy. You want to stand for something. So I'm Jason Integrity. My company's Integrity Goals. So integrity is pretty important to me. So because it is, let's put it at the forefront of who I am and what I do, because I'm always going to do the right thing. And if you are connected to me, then we are going to do the right thing. And this now becomes a part of the brand and what you're known for, right? And this is how you can start to build your reputation. Make sure your website is solid. Make sure all your profiles are connected, right? Your social media accounts. Everything is speaking to your audience or speaking to the right people. You want to build solid relationships and partnerships. You should be thinking about these things, who these people are, where they are. Set some marketing goals. So while you're out here and having all these conversations, what are we trying to accomplish? We're trying to get to something. We're trying to get to a number. I need 5 clients by the end of the month. I'm trying to get $100 million client, whatever it is that you are. Let's set some goals. Set a big audacious goal that scares you, and then you know you're going in the right direction. If you're setting goals that you know you can hit, then it's not really a goal. It's just a task, right? So, and lastly, understand your metrics. What are we measuring? So most people go to social media and they're tallying likes and shares and comments, and none of that moves the needle for your business. You should be tallying conversions. What is my conversion rate? So if I talk to 10 people, how many of these people buy something? How many of them become a client? And then now we can work on that conversion rate to improve it as we improve our messaging, the places that we market, and everything that's included. So understand your metrics along the way. So this is all the things that you can work on prior to network. Oh, I think I skipped the extra slide. Okay. Now, don't be a goofball, right? You go to don'tbeagoofball.com, and it's a whole worksheet. Sherry with the t-shirt. It's a whole work shop that Sue and I did a while back that explains it. So anybody that's insta pitching is a goofball. Sue has her shirt too. That's awesome. Faking interest. You ever have a conversation with somebody, you can tell that they're just not listening, and then every so often they'll go, "That's crazy." They are not listening to anything you're saying. So don't be that person. Engage in the conversation. Any kind of spamming, when you see you get a post goes up or email or a message, and they're just, this message isn't for you. This is something that I know we all see on LinkedIn, where you'll get a message from somebody and it's a 15-page pitch. And they sent that to everybody that they could. That's spamming. Don't be that person, right? Hijacking posts. Somebody put up a post and they're talking about something interesting, and then a person jumps on the post and like, "Hey, if you need help with this, I can help you." That's hijacking a post. Don't be that person either, right? And then recommendation begging. If you have to ask for a recommendation, then you probably didn't earn it. So it carries no weight. And if they give you a recommendation, they're not going to say anything thoughtful. They're going to be like, "Yeah, that's a cool guy," because they don't know anything about you. So you want recommendations that you have earned, and then they carry weight. And then now they can put some thought into how you help them or the type of energy you've given them along the way. So all of these things go together. And if you're doing these things, you're a goofball, but you don't have to be. You can stop, right? So don't be a goofball. So when we're talking about connecting with customers, if you follow the steps that Sue's talking about, you understand who your ideal customer is, right? When we're talking about targeting, this is how you shape the conversation so that it fits. And then you can break that into market segments, avatars. It's a lot of different names on the marketing side that you can call this, right? So understanding who these people are and what problems they have. Each market segment, each ideal customer, they have their own problems. If you understand their problems, now you can tailor this conversation to them. As you have more conversations out loud and you understand what questions to ask, then you're going to ask a question and it's going to trigger a response to the problem. And then now this person has that problem and you can continue the conversation, right? And then you want to engage with them, and you don't want to just, okay, you got the problem, spiel. No, I see that you got the problem, and now let's engage. How is this problem affecting you? How is this problem affecting your family and your business? Okay, so what is life like without that problem? I don't know, because I've always had the problem. Is this something that you want to talk about? Yeah, let's talk about it. All right, let's book a time. Let's get on a schedule. And then now you continue that conversation. Easy peasy, right? So understanding all of these things prior to the networking event, you'll be able to maneuver within that event, and who's a target potential client. You know who's the goofball, and you know who to avoid, right? And now you're not just standing there waiting to talk to somebody, but you can kind of look and strike up a conversation, and more importantly, just be yourself within all of it. So when we talk about strategic partners, now this is fantastic because you don't have to be alone in the marketplace. Most of us and on this business journey, we tend to silo ourselves, and you feel like you're the only one in this fight, and you're the only one trying to figure this out, and you're the only one looking for customers. But if you come on Alignable, there's a whole lot of us that's in this same fight with you. Now, how can we do this together? What are your real goals in business? And if you can identify that in other people, our goals are the same. So let's work together. Maybe your business and my business overlap in a way to where now we can be complementary. One of my favorite strategic partners to work with are social media people. Social media people are great at design. They're great at coming up with content. but they don't necessarily know who to target in the content or how to position the conversation. So they expect their customers to give them that information when they go to them. Why this is dope is because I help my clients build out all of that. Here's your target audience. Here's the market segmentation. Here's the conversation you should have with each one. Take all of this and give it to the social media people and watch them go crazy. Right? So now, as I look for other people, when I look for social media people to partner with, this is a part of my conversation to them. Hey, I can make your life easier because all of the stuff that you don't like to do, I love that part. That's fun for me. So let's figure out a way to work together. Let's have a conversation and let's see. So what I just did is found a social media person for all my clients because I don't want to do that part. I get to hand all of that off to the social media people. And for all of their clients, they now have a go-to person. Like, I need you to go talk to Jason and run through that authenticity training he was talking about so that you know who all of this is. And I don't have to try to figure it out. Because for the social media person, they're looking to build engagement. And the faster they can get to that, the more that they show their worth as this specialist. They can't do that if they're sitting there trying to figure out who to talk to on your behalf, right? So as you're having these conversations, you want to ask these kind of questions to understand, can we align? You know, so if they're shady, I can't partner with them. So let's see if our goals and values align, right? If you're doing all of the weird spamming stuff, now I can't do that. So, all right, maybe this is not a good fit. You know, let's look for the mutual benefit. Everybody has to win in these relationships. And if you're thinking win-win in all of these relationships, it's impossible for this to fail because I want you to be great. And if you want me to be great as half as much as I want you to be great, then we're going to kill this, right? And then now let's talk about how we can collaborate and how we can do this. So now that this is established, don't just walk away and never talk to this person again. You're going to have to nurture the relationship, right? So let's talk. Let's set a time to talk. And maybe let's talk every couple of weeks until we can figure this out. The second that you got a project you can pull them in on, pull them in. And then now let's talk about how we can work together. And let's talk about how this fits. You know, and if they are having a challenge, if they're stuck in any part of the process that you can help them out with, give them some information, give them some value. So many of us are gatekeeping all of this knowledge that we know as if somebody is trying to steal your identity. A lot of this stuff is just how you apply it. And you're going to apply it in a vastly different way than some of your competitors. And when you start talking, it's a different feel. So don't be afraid to share that information because you're helping somebody who's going to help you. It's just good energy, right? So when we're talking about strategic partners, this is how we can move, and this is how we can start to build and grow together. And both of our businesses benefit from the relationship. So it's an absolute win-win. So let's get more of it, right? So as we get into referral partners, okay, so it was a miss and our businesses don't overlap, and I don't necessarily see a way that we can partner. However, we can be referral partners. So I like your energy. I like your work ethic. Everything that I see that comes from you is fantastic. So let's figure out a way to work together. So with Sue and Sherry and myself, our businesses don't overlap at all, but we all come together as referral partners and we put together these events because from a system standpoint, it overlaps. From conceptually, it overlaps, and the energy overlaps because both of them are super dope. So now let's be referral partners. Let's do some events. Yeah, let's do some events. So we don't necessarily work together day to day, but as we put together these events and we found a shared goal is helping the community. So now all of this connects and it just makes sense to do. And we can keep doing it and we build it and build it. And it's always good energy. So look for people that's putting out this kind of energy, right? Look for people that you like to talk to. My man Joe Moore is here. Joe Moore is one of my best Alignable friends, right? And we talk all the time, and we're in these different groups, and we're connected, and we're, hey, you need to talk to Joe. Hey, you need to talk to Jason, and it's just good energy. So let's build out 3,000 or 4,000 people that's thinking that way, and then all of a sudden you're killing it, right? And in order to build these relationships, it takes time. You have to nurture them. And it's no different than if you're looking for a partner or a spouse, you don't just go out and get a wife. You have to go and meet people and have conversations. You have to nurture them. You got to call. You need to send a text message. Hey, how you doing? Right? And then the more time you spend, the more energy you put into it. Okay, it's starting to develop into something. And now all of a sudden we got a relationship. All of these things are the same. Some people are going to walk up to you and they're just going to pitch. They're going to pitch and pitch and pitch and pitch, right? And that's equivalent to the guy in the club that just walks up to you like, can I have your phone number? Like, you didn't even say hi. Can you say hi first, right? Introduce yourself. So it's the same thing. So don't be that person, but look to nurture these relationships. Look to see how you can add value to what they're doing. The goal in all of this is to earn trust. And if I can trust you at your word, if you show up in the places that you say, then seems the reason that you can do all this other stuff that you're saying too. And then now I don't mind giving you a referral because you're going to show up in the way that I've been seeing. What's crazy to me is to ask somebody for a referral who doesn't know you at all. What exactly are they referring? Hey, I met this guy on LinkedIn Tuesday, so you should give him a call and give him all your money. Conceptually, it's like, what are you thinking? But how do you earn this referral? How do you show up for these other people? If they got a question, do you give them an answer, or do you try to pitch them something? So the better you get at this, the better that you allow yourself just to be a regular person and have these conversations. Now you can start to build these partnerships. And with any partnership, it has to be mutually beneficial. So now we understand who we're looking for, right? The big four: potential customers, strategic partners, referral partners, and be on the lookout for goofballs, right? So now let's show up to the networking event with good energy, right? And let's just start introducing ourselves. No elevator pitch. Hey, how you doing? I'm Jason. That's it. How many of these have you come to? What do you like about Alignable? And then now let's be inquisitive about the people we're talking to, right? Questions are the answers, and smart people ask smart questions, right? So if I'm talking to you about you and your business, and I'm showing genuine interest, and I'm trying to figure out how I can connect with you, who can I connect you with, you're going to want to talk to me some more. Hey, I like that guy because he's actually trying to help me, right? So I'm asking you about the problems that you have in your business, and I'm trying to see what I can do to help. If I can figure something out, let me send you down that path. If I got an answer for this question, let me send you down this path. If I know somebody who can help you, let me send you down that path. So now I am known as a person who can help. If I've helped you in the first 5 minutes of us meeting, do you want to talk to me again? Right? If we set a time to have a one-on-one and I dig a little bit deeper and I uncover a problem you didn't even know you had, and I help you find a solution for it, have I earned a little bit of trust? And maybe if I show up, if I have an event on Alignable, you might show up, right? So all of these things go together. And as far as building relationships, I am going to make this about you, not about me. So that's why number 3 is like, don't pitch. Because as soon as you start pitching, it's all about you. I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this, and I'm great at that. Who wants to hear that in a conversation? I don't even quite remember your name yet. So I'm not going to remember any of the stuff that you're offering in this weird pitch that you gave me when I'm not your target market. You sell shampoo. Do I look like the guy that's buying shampoo? Right? Yeah, but you might know somebody who needs shampoo. It's just not a good look. So connect with people, have real conversations during these events. Ask questions. Be naturally inquisitive. Let the kid in you go, and why is that? And how long have you been doing this? Shows genuine interest in people, and they will reciprocate. I guarantee it. That good energy cycles. It always comes back. The more you put out, the more it comes back. So become an expert at asking questions and diving into people. And the better you understand what they do, what they stand for, who they are as a person, the easier it is for you to connect with them and also connect the dots as you give them referrals or try to figure out a way to collaborate. Now, you've gone to a networking event, you've had several great conversations, you've gone to a Smart Connect, you've talked to like 5 good people. What do we do now? Follow up. Let's shoot a message real quick. Hey, it was very nice meeting you today. I look forward to talking to you again. Mention something in that conversation. Hey, remember you said you had this particular problem? I know a guy that can help you with that. Here's his number, right? The being able to connect somebody to your network makes you valuable, because now they see that you have something to offer instead of just trying to sell them stuff. And I can't trust the stuff that you just tried to sell me in half of a conversation. I don't know if you can really do this or not. I don't even know you, right? So let's start trying to pull them into our network. We want them as a member of our network, and we should be trying to help our network. So if you got a problem, let's figure out how a solution to that problem. If I can help you personally, I will. If I know somebody, I'll reach out. And if I don't know anybody, let me ask my network, do they know somebody? Through extension, we can figure this thing out. You know, once again, I'm just saying it's a good energy thing. So lastly, don't stalk them. It's okay to shoot a message and say, hey, great meeting you, but don't send them 14 messages, and don't message them every 20 minutes. Just, hey, did you get my message? Maybe, but if they didn't get the first message, they're probably not going to get the seventh. You know, give people a chance to respond. Give them a chance to say, hey, okay, it's cool. Now you can follow up in a few days, of course, but don't go crazy with it. And then don't start trying to explain everything that you can do in life, right? Don't start pitching in the inbox, right? It's very, very weird. But just connect. Let's continue the conversation. And the goal is to pick the conversation up where you left off. You know, and if you do this, it'll have a natural flow to the conversation. It'll feel like, okay, this person they actually care, and they're actually trying to support my business. Let me see what I can do for them. Let me see if I can collaborate. Let me see if I have a need for their services, because if they're putting that much energy into me now, what are you like with your customers, right? So everything you do is an extension and a representation of your brand. So if your brand is pain in the ass, always pitching, then that's just who you are as a person. And I'm going to tell everybody I know, like, nah, that dude is pitch fest. You know, don't worry about it. And I'm going to kick you out of my network as soon as possible. But if you are actually a solid person, yes, please stay, because we like that kind of energy. And I don't mind sending my clients to you, because I know you'll take care of them. So this book is phenomenal. I highly, highly recommend it. Judy Robinette, How to Become a Power Connector. She literally breaks down networking into a science. 5-50-100 rule is super, super dope. I highly recommend y'all take a look at that and start thinking about who's in your network, who can you rely on, who is a resource, who has information you don't. When it's time to put together this power package, or you're working on a project and you need to pull somebody in, who can you go to, right? So I have my list. I have my 5-50-100 list. So 5 is your closest 5 people in your network. You trust them with your kids, right? The next 50 are people these are the active people that you talk to all the time, you stay in communication with. And then the 100 are the people that you haven't really connected with that much, but I like them. And maybe I can pull them into that 50, right? So the book explains it in great detail. It's fantastic. So these are a couple of the groups that I run. The Black Entrepreneur Group is always a good time in there. The Sales Strategy Group is a group that we got about 70,000 members in there. I'm in the midst of putting together some events in there. And we're talking sales and how to have these conversations and how not to be the used car guy and all that. So that's always a good time in there. And look out for those events. And that's it. So now Sherry is going to come on, and she's going to talk about all of the follow-up stuff that I was just telling you. She's going to give you a master class in that. It's going to be fantastic.
How do I follow that? Actually, it's going to be a great recap. I'm sitting there listening to you, and sometimes you have to hear things multiple times from different people before you kind of go, oh, I get it. So what you're going to hear from me is some kind of recap of what Sue talked about, what Jason talked about, but with my own spin on it. And I'm going to give you some stats. So got a little bit of relationship marketing going, along with some follow-up. Keep in mind, those are actually 2 events for me: a full-blown relationship marketing event and a full-blown Fortune the follow-up that I am putting together in this little 35-minute deal. So you're not getting the whole thing. You're not getting all my stories. I'm gonna speak from a fire hose like Sue right now. So let me get my screen ready here. Oh, hold on. Talk about different platforms when I'm on somebody else's stuff. Hold on, guys. Oh,
How you guys all doing? You with us? Everybody's still with us? Are you getting a lot out of it? Thumbs up if you are. Yay. Okay. I love this.
right, hold on. I'm almost there. Ah, I didn't want to do this when Jason was presenting. I didn't want to accidentally share. So I'm like, okay, let's get this together. So you could talk for a second. Hold on.
Hey, throw in the chat for everything that we've said so far. Add some more takeaways in the chat. Let's see what's resonating with you.
I know, I love reading those. Read your takeaways so far. Jason had tons of them. I wrote a bunch of notes actually myself.
Okay, cross your fingers this works. Oh my goodness. Are you seeing my screen?
Yep, go.
Yes. Okay, how do I get me out of here? Why is everybody on my screen? Hold on. Oh my goodness. You think this would be the first time I've ever done this? Okay, are you seeing my screen? All right. Ready? So you just see my screen, right? You don't see all my desktop and all the crazy stuff. Okay, cool. All right. So first off, thank you, Jason. That was awesome. And Sue, I love doing these events with you guys. It was so fun in Charlotte. So those of you who don't know me, I am a relationship and gratitude marketing consultant. I am the owner, co-owner of Custom Plumbing. I am also one of the founding Alliance ambassadors right here on Alignable. So that kind of came about when Sue and I were sitting in my kitchen over a glass of wine. I love it. Also speaker, author, I'm an energy healer, and I am a huge advocate for holistic wellness. So I speak a lot of different languages. So I speak from construction to health and wellness. One of the things, it just came about the other day is like, why Alignable? And it was like, what has Alignable done for you? It's like, because of coming to back to Alignable in 2020, when Sue asked me to come back, it's when I realized what my passion is and my purpose. So I'm not just an owner of Custom Plumbing, because that's just, that's our job. That's what I do, but that's not my passion. So I was able to discover that right here on Alignable. So let's find out why. Because relationship marketing and the fortune in the follow-up is how I built my multiple businesses. So let's go. So first off, what is relationship marketing? It is a strategy that emphasizes building and nurturing long-term relationships with customers rather than focusing on solely on customer acquisition and one-time transaction. You kind of heard Jason talk about that. So the goal of relationship marketing is to establish those strong emotional connections with your customers and referral partners. Get to know the human behind the product and service. Okay, you're going to hear a lot about this. I'm going to repeat myself quite a bit through here, but I want you to hear it. So building relationships requires commitment and nurturing and time. It takes time to build those long-term relationships. Relationship marketing is the long game, right? It's that long time relationship. Don't be in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, people are going to sense that and they're going to walk away. I know I do. All right. So you talk about how to have these relationships, but I want to talk about something that people don't always think about, and it is the customer acquisition cost. So we all want those new customers. We want to build those relationships, but have you ever thought how much time and money you spend to get those new customers? We're going to talk about that real quick here. We have a little formula for you. It is the sales cost plus your marketing. Sorry, there's people in the waiting room and it's in my screen. Sales cost plus your marketing divided by the new customers that you actually acquired. So what does that look like? Example, make it easy. You spend $1,000 on your marketing and you get 2 customers. Each one of those customers costs you $500. How many of you actually have thought about how much time and money it takes to get a new customer? This is really important. I want you to start thinking about this. Acquiring a customer is 5 to 25 times more expensive than retaining the existing ones. Okay, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get new customers. Appreciate the ones that you have. So for me, when I bring gratitude and appreciation into the mix, that's where the magic happens. I don't have to go out there and keep finding new customers. I just got to love on and appreciate the ones I have. And we already know that word of mouth is your very best form of advertising. So you don't have to keep finding those new customers. Let your people do the work for you. Where am I at here? Okay, so we want to talk about acquiring customer acquisition and customer retention. So just some stats again for you. I'm throwing some stats at you. According to Harvard Business School, increasing customer retention rates by just 5% can boost revenue by 25 to 95 in profits. How cool is that? Think about that. So this is customer retention. We're going to talk right now about that. Do your own market research on this, but when you spend 80% of your time building relationships with your customers, I'm going to tell you over and over and over again, this is where the magic happens. Get to know the people for who they are. Don't forget about the other people too in your world, your referral partners, your vendors, if you have vendors that you use, or employees and your past customers. Spend time nurturing those relationships. And then you still have 20% marketing that you need to do. I'm not saying don't do it, but prioritize those genuine connections first over transactions, okay? Understand your customers' needs and provide value beyond the sale. So important. In today's digitally dominated world, I will say this over and over again, you can connect with people by just a push of a button. But I want you to remember, a connection is not a relationship. So people tell me all the time, oh my God, Sherry, you have all these people on Alignable. You have 14,000 people. They are connections. Those are not all relationships. Because why? It takes time. I'm getting there. It's going to take me a while, right? So I didn't come from the digital world. Okay, so I'm gonna step back a little bit. I didn't build my businesses, any of my businesses, from the digital world. I built my business based on relationship marketing and gratitude. I didn't even know it was a thing when I started my business. I didn't really know it was a thing until I came back to Alignable. Like I said, I finally discovered my passion, right? So relationship marketing focuses on customer retention, satisfaction, and that long-term customer lifetime value. So remember when I said I didn't live in the digital world? Well, guess what? Time has evolved and I live there now too. So this is that other 20% where you need to bring in that other marketing. Relationship marketing is not standalone. It's not a standalone strategy. You use it along with other marketing. So find ways to insert relationship building into all your marketing efforts. I'm doing the same thing right now. I am proud to say I have a CRM. I didn't even know what that was earlier, right? I came from the old-fashioned database world. Anyway, we are, can you guys keep letting those people in because they keep popping up on my screen, sorry. So for me, gratitude marketing has always been that forefront. I have been a card sender my whole entire life, so I use that in my business. So just remember, whatever marketing you do, make sure you include that human connection component. So remember HI first before AI. Okay, please, human intelligence over AI. Promise you it's going to get you further. Okay, leveraging referrals and word of mouth. Jason just did a great talk on all this, you know, but for me, knowing that my customers are happy, they become my best referral partners. Happy customers right? It's your marketing team. So make sure that you take care of them. So just another little study here. The Nielsen survey, 92% of the consumers trust recommendations over any other form of advertising. Satisfied and loyal customers are more likely to recommend your business from trusted family and friends and other business associates, right? So, excuse me, it's word of mouth. It amplifies your brand advocacy. Some more stats I want you to take a look at. It's really interesting. So before I talk about this, I'm just going to tell you, I've been with my insurance company for over 25 years. Guess what? I'm leaving, and I've been in the process of leaving him because right here, 89% of the customers are lost due to poor customer service because they feel unappreciated. I am just a number to him. It's just every time they come around, it's like, oh, it's your annual review. Don't check in on me throughout the year. Don't see how my family's doing. 81% of the consumers are willing to pay more for better customer service. I'm paying higher prices for, I can't even tell you how many things. My husband sometimes says, you know, that costs more money. I said, yeah, but I'm getting better service. That is gold to me. 73% of consumers perceive customer experience as an important factor when making purchasing decisions. Absolutely. Customer service is like hands down. So in relationship marketing, it's a way that you can provide superior customer experience by focusing on personalized interactions, kind of like Jason was talking about, timely support, and addressing individual needs. Okay. We're not numbers, we're human. And now I get to bring in Sue's little funnel. I love her funnel, and she has this whole other spin on it, but I'm going to bring in the relationship aspect to it. So Sue talked about knowing your ideal customer referral partner. Jason talked about intentional networking. Now let's talk about how relationship marketing is used and how you use this networking funnel. Okay. So contacts, we meet, those are people, again, that we meet. You're connected to them on Alignable. You meet them at the grocery store. You see them at the movies, at the laundromat. Those are all connections. Those are not relationships. You meet them at networking events in person or right here on Alignable virtually. They're all connections. Keep meeting people daily. It's a good thing. But you want to take those contacts that you've met, and I think I just said something out of context. You take those contacts that you met, and now you're going to move them into connections. And here's where the fun starts, right? Because you want to move that connections from your contacts into that know, like, and trust position, right? But right here is where people are going to fall into those cracks. They're going to fall away. So you get a chance to see if you like them. Or first you get a chance to know them, see if you like them, and then do you trust them? And those ones that fall through the cracks, they're not your people. Not everybody is going to be your people, right? But the intention is to build relationship with the connections that you made. Move them into, whoa, somebody's drawing on my screen. Okay, I got screen stuff going on here. Okay, hold on.
Just shut it down and come back. Oh, did you?
They're gone. That was weird. Okay, anyway, so lost my train of thought there. So relationships. So now you're going to move those connections into trusted relationships. Be genuinely interested in people. I think Jason just mentioned that. Get to know who they are. Remember, you're building relationship with people, so don't treat them like numbers. I've said that so many times, and I have so many stories around that. I don't have time to bring you in all my stories around this whole thing. You can go to one of my other events, but get to know them on a personal level, and they will more likely do business with you. But I want you to ask yourself some of these questions. What can I do to help support and add value to others? I think Jason talked about that too. Who in my network should I reach out to and see who I can connect them with? what are current and new opportunities to build relationships? Always look for those new opportunities. Go out to dinner with people, go play golf, go to the movies, go hiking, go to the beach, do networking activities outside of work to get to know who they are as the human being. And then discover, how you can become referral partners. Not everybody's going to be your customer, but they could be a trusted referral partner. Okay. So referral partners, when you continue to nurture those relationships and stay engaged with them, you're continuously building on your relationship activities, you're staying top of mind. I think this is where the magic happens, right? I'm looking for more referral partners than I am customers. And then of course, the friends. And I have made so many wonderful, wonderful friends in building relationships. I don't know where it's going. I don't know if it's going to be business. I don't know if it's going to be just friends, but I'm happy either way because it's all about building that relationship. I just want to show you this visual representation of relationship marketing and how it can reduce customer acquisition cost compared to traditional marketing. It's really kind of cool. So I start with, this is the first year, in business. Here's your third year. This is paid ads in Google. Look at, there's hardly any decrease. Here's your emails and cold outreach, but look at relationship marketing. You started out here, what, $80, and you're down to $20 after year 3. You're decreasing your customer acquisition cost. This is huge. And again, do your own research with your industry. Everybody's different, but I just thought this was kind of a cool visual to show. Because we want customer lifetime, right? Value. What is customer lifetime value? It's the total revenue of your business that can lead to amazing things. Amazing. I'm going to show you a story here in just a second, but let's go through this formula. So lifetime value is revenue a business can expect to generate from a single customer, one customer, over a course of their relationship. So the formula for that is the average value of a customer purchase, okay? Customer purchase, one purchase, multiplied by the number of years, multiplied by the average lifetime that you worked with this person, equals your customer lifetime value. Okay, so I'm going to show you some examples, but when you focus on building relationships, it's important to know what your customers are worth. Okay, when you build these strong relationships, again, you can decrease your customer acquisition cost and increase your customer lifetime value. Example, I'm using money that I spent, right? So I have a landscaper, average pay him $200 a month times a year is $2,400. 15 years doing business with him is $3,600. Okay, that's maybe not a lot of money to him, right? But this is where the magic happens. How much money has this guy made from me, from all of the referrals I've given him? It is just crazy. Do you think this guy's going to take care of me? Yes, he is. He's going to make sure my yard is looking beautiful. No, that's not my yard. My flowers aren't grown up big enough yet. So my landscaping is new anyway. But that's an example. If he takes care of me, I'm going to continue to refer him, and that's where the magic is. Okay, money I've received. Okay, I own a construction company, right, with my husband. Been in construction pretty much my whole life, and in construction, okay, I'm going to speak construction language for a minute. In construction, we typically have to bid on a project, and the low bidder typically gets the job, right? And we still have to do that to this day. But it's all about building relationships, taking care of, nurturing, doing all of the things that, we've talked about, Jason's talked about, Sue's talked about, I, briefly went over again. Just focusing on giving good customer service and being that person, that go-to person for them. In a 20-year relationship, I've generated over $100 million in repeat and referral business with just one contractor. I work with multiple contractors, but this is one contractor. When Sue came and told me about that customer lifetime value formula, I'd never done that. And it was like, it kind of blew my mind. I'm going to challenge you to go do that with your customers. So it's like when Sue talked about your ideal, most profitable customer, start using this formula, use that customer acquisition formula and find out where you're at. Okay, Jason talked about this too. Give more than you ask. Please provide value through education, inspiration, and appreciation. I'm going to give you some examples of some of my clients and myself. Financial advisor will regularly shares educational contents to his clients in webinars on wealth management, bringing budgeting tips in, never pitching. He's not a goofball, right? He's not pitching, he's just educating. A realtor client of mine does the welcome packages for all of her for her new home buyers. Again, she's giving to them. Us, you know, as a plumber, we're giving things, guides for home maintenance or whatever it is, we're giving. We're not asking for anything. So just be that giver in anything that you do in your industry, and I promise you, you're going to reap the rewards. The other thing about relationship marketing is you want to build community. Jason talked about your network. When you create spaces for connection, whether they're events, online or in person, this is huge, huge for your network and for your business. So again, one of my realtors, she will do seasonal open houses and mixers, and she will bring in her past clients, her prospects, her new clients into an informal networking opportunity so they can meet. So she's bringing people together, all about relationship marketing. Financial guy, he's doing the same thing. He's bringing these referral meetups. He's just bringing his people together, right? And the more you bring your people together, what's going to happen? We do customer appreciation. So barbecues, open house. Think outside of the box, how you can involve your community in all of your relationship marketing activities. Okay. Whew, got through a little bit about relationship marketing, but we're going to come into we'll talk about it a little bit more here. But I've been asked this question, I can't even tell you how many times, and it kind of just baffles me. But why is follow-up so important? If they're not going to do business with me, they're not going to do business with me. Well, then you're going to be that person who is constantly acquiring new customers, and you're going to be spending a heck of a lot of money. I don't want to do that. So 80% of the sales happen after 5 to 12 touch points, but yet most people give up after 1 or 2. Don't give up. Just because they're not ready right this second doesn't mean they're not going to be. I've been building relationship with people for 4 or 5 years that I'm just now doing business with. But I've built that relationship because we've got to know, like, and trust one another. So how do you follow up? It starts with customer satisfaction. When you follow up after anything that you do, you need to find a way to reach out to them, whether you are texting, whether you are, whatever it is that you're doing, you're sending out mass emails. I don't care. I don't care what you do. Just do it. Just reach out. I send cards, and here's why. Emails. Everybody was excited back in the late the 1980s and early 1990s when email came out. It was like everybody jumped to the computer. Oh, I got it. I got email. They don't do that anymore. It's not that way. But I will promise you, cards have 100% open rate. Every single time my customers get these cards, I get a call. So find something to follow up after your initial contact. One-to-ones, whatever you're doing. Okay, reach out to people, follow up with them. Following up, it builds trust. When you consistently follow up, it establishes trust with your clients and your customers. It reinforces that reliability, credibility, and the commitment to fulfilling promises you've made to them, right? That trust factor is huge. It's crucial. Some of the examples I can tell you is my realtors will do post sale check-ins. And again, because I've taught them how tangible touch is so important, put it in your mix. So they will call and they will email and they will send cards to their clients every 30, 90, and 180 days later. So they're always staying in touch with their people. One of my financial guys, he's follows up with milestones. It's like he keeps in contact with them. Did they get a new home? Did they get married? Did they have kids? Did they have grandkids? He's following up. He's doing the same thing, call, text, cards. And of course, we use cards for everything in our plumbing industry. I have this whole slide deck presentation on mastering follow-up in the construction industry and many other industries. So whatever you're doing, just build trust. Trust in a relationship is so important. It's key. Follow-up is so important because it strengthens relationships. When you regularly follow up, you cultivate and nurture relationships with your clients and your customers and referral partners. It's key. So I just threw some pictures up here now because some of my customers that we were doing business with, we've become really good friends. Not only do we get to do their work, we're really good friends. We're traveling together. And when they see a job coming up, and what do they tell the contractors? I want custom on our job. It's important. That is solid relationship. My customers get 13 touches a year, tangible touch dripped in the mailbox. All right. Why is follow-up more important? Because it's repeat business, right? Satisfied, happy customers are more likely to become repeat customers and raving fans. I showed you the picture of my $100 million client. He's not only a client of ours that we do repeat business, he refers us to other general contractors. How cool is that? Not about competition, it's about the relationship that you build. Existing customers are more likely to purchase additional products or services from you. Customers are likely to spend more with companies they've already done business with because you have that know, like, and trust. And again, they don't want to go spending all that money and time acquiring those new customers. Remember, acquiring new customers takes a lot of time and money. Regular follow-up is referral generation, okay? When you regularly follow up, it helps you stay top of mind with your customers, increasing that likelihood of them referring business. As an example, I have a card here. It's just, thanks for the referral. This is a general contractor. I happen to see this picture on Facebook. It's him and his daughter. I just, sent him a card. Thanks so much for your business and your continued referral. Can't read it. Referrals you send our way. That's all I say. Thank you. And the reason I put pictures, anytime I can find pictures of people, I put these on the cards because they're never going to throw them away. And I have contractors and everybody telling me that every single day. They're like, Sherry, we can't throw your cards away. And I'm like, why is that? Well, it's like you put a picture of my daughter or you put a picture of my wife and I can't throw those pictures away. But I've set myself apart from my competitors, if you want to use that term. I don't like competitors, but I have set myself apart. What can you do to set yourself apart? Let me go back to that customer retention again. Regularly follow up has that customer retention, that repeat and referral business that we just talked about. It's important because it contributes to a stable revenue stream. It reduces your customer acquisition costs, kind of like I just said, and increases your customer lifetime value. Gives you the competitive advantage. Loyal customers, again, are less likely to be swayed by competitors, are more likely to recommend your business to others. A lot of this is repeat, but I want you to understand it. This is all relationship marketing, all follow-up. Provide valuable feedback that you can use to continuously improve your products and service. I like to use Fran's story here because Sue used Fran's story just a moment ago. And when you get to know people on a really deep level, so I also got to know Fran. And when Sue was telling her story about the brain health spice, it made me think about, I got to know Fran well enough, and I was going through some health challenges myself. And she's like, what's going on with you? And I said, I don't know. I got my labs back and I've got some crazy numbers with my liver. It's like, I don't know what's going on. It's just high levels. Fran's like, oh my God, I can create a blend for you. She did. She created this blend. And so I was able to provide great feedback for her. I think she added that to her line. It was a liver blend. And so the next time I went in, my numbers were like back to normal. So anyway, so keep focusing on building the relationship. It is the most important thing that you can do in business. I don't care. I don't do sales strategies. I don't do any of that stuff. Go to Jason for that. But I just focus on the people, the humans. Again, competitive edge. People don't shop around for a bargain as long as you maintain that value. And I say maintain that, that relationship. Okay. And again, people do business and refer people they know, like, and trust only if they remember you. Remember, again, people buy you, not your product and service. So keep building and nurturing that relationship. So we hear this constantly, but I'm going to ask you, what are you doing, or what can you do to be memorable? How do you want people to remember you? Okay. I throw this in because, again, we live in this digital world, and we were at a networking event, and my husband and I met some contractors that we've wanted to meet for a while. And it was, what happens at a networking event? What do? You pass cards around. Here's our business card. Yeah, give us a call. Oh, I'd love to get together with you guys. We'd love to get you on our bid list. A couple weeks went by, or a week or two went by. Husband called, estimator called, crickets. Why? People are busy. Life happens. We have gatekeepers. I know, because I have a gatekeeper. All of that stuff. So like life circumstances, I said, I'm going to do it my way. So I sent my card. It's a really simple card. It was nice to meet you. It was great to meet you both at the Builders Exchange. We look forward to further connecting with you. Sherry and Dwayne. I never said anything. It was just nice to meet you. As soon as they got that card in the mail, which was 3 weeks later, the phone rang. Oh my God, we got this card from you guys. Who's your estimator? We forgot about you guys. They actually said that. They forgot about us. They handed us their business card 3 weeks before, but they forgot about us. People are not going to remember you unless you find a way to always be memorable. So that job, it was like, we just were awarded this job. Would you like to bid on it? It was a $2.5 million job. Do you think I'd be interested in that? Yes. So I set myself apart. I show people that I care about them. It's not just the money. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay. It's the same with another contractor. I walked into my office. This is not this picture, but it just flashed on it. I walked into my office, and my project manager's like, oh my God, what did you do to John? I go, John who? And what are you talking about? He's like, he can't stop talking about it. I said, what? He was just like so excited. He goes, what did you send him? And I said, what, John? And so he told me, and I said, oh, I sent him a card and a goodie basket, right? And so I showed him what I sent, and it was just a card with a picture of the project that we finished. It was a multi-story, multi-family project. And it was just, and so my project manager was like, you put pictures of the job site on that card? I said, yeah, and them. And I just wanted them to know how much we cared about working with them. They were great people. And this was a little token of our appreciation. He goes, they can't stop talking about us. They said whenever they come into town to do work in our area again, that we're their plumber. hands down. So people, again, don't care how much you know. This card, I happen to, because I'm a Facebook stalker. I don't play around on Facebook, but I will look for pictures. And Tracy was a friend, not a friend, but a colleague in our plumbing world. And I just happened to see she had a birthday, popped some pictures on here and wished her happy birthday. I get this on Facebook. Sherry, your card arrived today and it brought tears to my eyes. As you know, I'm out on medical leave, which I did not know, with a tentative return date at the end of November. No real diagnosis. I had no idea this was going on. A business acquaintance, not a friend. Your thoughtfulness and kindness will not be forgotten. I needed this more now than you know. Thank you again, my friend. We're friends, right? I look at her as a business colleague. You know how much I touched her life by a card? Think about, again, I don't care if you use cards. I don't care if you use, Sue knows somebody who does origami dollars. She's a credit card processor, I believe. And she uses origami. So do something, but people need to be appreciated. They want to be appreciated. And it makes you feel good. It's like my happy pill. When I get to spread love and kindness and gratitude out into the world, it's my happy pill. So for God's sake, please stay top of mind with every single person you know. I have this thing, and I do say this. I want to own real estate on every wall, office, refrigerator. We were at the crab feed last year, and one of my contractors came up to me and he's like, you know, we all love your cards so much. We have an entire room dedicated to your cards. They don't throw them away. So what can you do? And don't forget about your past customers. I have to always throw this in. I don't care what slide deck. I don't care what presentation. It is so important. People forget about their past customers. This was a realtor who didn't focus on his past customers. It was current clients, and I think even prospects. Anyway, these all came back. You know what those little yellow stickies are? Return to sender. They moved, whatever. Lost millions of dollars in commissionable sales because he did not stay in touch with his past customers. So I bet I know a lot of you on this call are going to go out and find your past customers right now. So whatever you do, set yourself apart by reaching out in kindness with no intention of getting anything back. Be that giver. Be that giver. Go read The Go Giver. Thanks, Joe Moore, because that book was so cool. Even though it's who I was, it was like I was reading my story, but it is a phenomenal book. Remember, you know, people buy you, not your product and service. And plan your strategy, whatever it is in building these relationships and following up, plan that strategy. When you stay in touch with gratitude messages, your check-ins, whether it's text, again, you bring in your digital world, but please do not lose sight of that human connection, even if it's a phone call. People want to hear your voice. So with relationship marketing and consistent follow-up, what does that equal? It equals business growth. It equals those $100 million jobs or whatever it is that you are wanting to do in your business. So follow up with gratitude, stay consistent without being pushy. Or as Jason says, don't be a goofball. Personalize all those interactions. Again, talk about things that you maybe have come up in conversation, and just make sure there's value on there. And again, lastly is the girl who didn't come from that digital world. I'm in it. So use those multiple touch points to reach out and appreciate your people. And with that being said, here is my contact information. So I have a lot and less groups now on Alignable, but construction trades and services for sure. I also have the business relationship community group. It is one of the exclusive paid groups right here on Alignable with the focus and intent on personal development for business growth. It's a phenomenal group. That's the link in the middle. The other link is my link tree. You can schedule time to meet me. You can find out all the other cool stuff I do. You can send a free card, go get a free account, send a free card. And then over on the right, sign up to be on the email list for the upcoming ebook that's going to be released in Relationship Marketing with Follow-Up. I don't know what the title is. We're kind of playing. We're almost done. So, but you can get first dibs on that before it launches. So I will have that up there. And so hopefully you've taken a screenshot. And voila. Oh. I'm gonna stop share. Oh my goodness.
Yay, good job. All right, did you guys get stuff out of those? Our three? Oh my gosh. I'm just sitting here with my mind like I'm gonna be dreaming about this stuff tonight. So I think let's start with this. Jason and Sherry, go ahead in the chat. I'm gonna put a list, I'm doing mine right now, a list of a bunch of key links. Okay. It includes, there's a list of them there. Alignable University, number one. You can find any Alignable trainings in there. I do something almost every single day, including the mastermind that we do every single Friday. Jason and Sherry are on there. Sherry and I are on there pretty much every week. Jason pops in once in a while too to help run it. So Alignable University group, just go there. You can ask questions about anything. We're all in there. There's successful members in there, our team members in there. They're really important. I do a member success series with our contest guy and PR guy at Alignable, Chuck Casto, and I've interviewed both of these amazing people that I just did this event with. So go, there's a link there to the YouTube playlist where you can binge watch all of them, but definitely watch my interview with these two. My networking with Heartbook, which I'm excited about. It's number one in 4 categories. I'm celebrating right now. We should all go get a glass of wine and cheers. And but you can get it for free download. Yay, Sherry already has a hard copy. But you can get the free Kindle version just this week only. And I would absolutely love it if you guys would read it and write a review. That'll help me on Amazon. Then I also have the 360 launch party because Alignable's having this huge launch next week on the 25th. Don't miss it. You're going to hear from our co-founder, the amazing Eric Groves. Definitely sign up for that so that you can hear about all the amazing updates, because all the things we talked about, there's a huge upgrade on Alignable, features that are going to be launched next week that you don't want to miss. You want to really understand that. There's a members only group. Someone asked the question about upgrading to one of our paid plans. We have 3 plans on Alignable. There's the official members, verified members plan. There is a premium plan and a premium plus plan. And I've already asked these two what their thoughts are on becoming a paid actual official member of Alignable. And both of you have said, what are you waiting for, right? So we have a members only group. This is really getting started. So if you want to be a member with Jason and Sherry and I, and we're going to be doing more events just like this, but only for the premium only group, you definitely want to get in that. I have a link there. Oh my gosh, there's an upgrade link. If you want to upgrade to one of the paid plans, you can use that link to go to the right place. And then I have my link for my Alignable profile where you can go to my website. There's I have a bunch of marketing tools and resources. There's a lot of things on my profile, where you can find the link to the book and all kinds of stuff. So that's mine. Jason, do you want to post anything in the chat and tell people where they can find you and remind people where to get all your cool stuff?
Yeah. I dropped in a link to my main website, integritygo.com. Here's a link to my Alignable profile. And once you start clicking on stuff, you'll see everything.
Awesome. Yes. And your marketing download, your checklist you already posted also. Maybe you can post that again.
I'll put it again.
Yeah. And then Sherry, anything you want to post in there to make?
Yeah, I posted the VRC group in there, and then also if you want to schedule time to meet with me, and I will also drop my Alignable profile link in there.
Awesome. So Is there anything else, Jason or Sherry, you want to say? We can ask for questions in the chat if you want to. We could, I'm sure we have some people that have questions. If you would just put your question in the chat, we'll go through and answer as many as we possibly can. If you've already put a question, there's way too much stuff to sort through unless
Or
either
just raise their hand, maybe raise their hand. We have time. What?
Yeah, but if they put it in there, then we can, especially if a lot of people have questions. How can you host a workshop on Alignable? I can throw that in there. You need to be a group leader or an Alignable Alliance ambassador. So you will need to be a paid Alignable member. To become an ambassador, you can go, actually, I'm going to post another link in there. AlignableAlliance.com is where you can go and learn about becoming an ambassador. And let me go get the link to apply to be a group leader. I will give you one more tip though. This is a tip people don't know. If you have an event like on your own Zoom, for example, then post it on your profile as a promotion. Okay. You can post a promotion, products and services on your profile, right there on your profile, and Alignable will show it to your network. So that might be a good way to do that. So I'll go get that link to become a group leader. Go ahead, you two, if you see any other questions.
Yeah. Will the recording be made available to rewatch? I was in another meeting and missed most of it. Where are you going to post the recording?
It'll be in the Alignable University group, and I will send out an announcement with a link to it when it gets posted. Any other? I'm posting the link to apply to become a group leader in there as well. Any other questions? Post them in there. Will you provide links to the slide? No, but we will provide the replay of this. Any other questions for any of us? Really, really hope that you guys will fill out the feedback form that you get. And definitely reach out to any of us. Like all my stuff is on my Alignable profile, and the things that I showed you guys. Maybe the three of us can post our that last thing with the links in it and the QR codes. We could post that in the Alignable University group, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, that might be a good idea. Okay, someone said.
So we do have some time. This goes until 4:30. Right?
As long as you want to go, you two want to go.
So it goes until 4:30. So how would you all, I would love to see it in the chat. How would you guys like to go into breakout rooms and maybe practice some of the stuff that you just heard today? Anybody want to go practice? Give me some yeses or we can't do it. You want to go into it? It's not going to be Smart Connect, but it will be a breakout room.
There's a couple of questions here real quick.
Okay, go ahead while I set this up.
Okay, let's see. Is it normal to feel that way when you are just starting out building relationships? I'm sorry, feeling what way? Oh, here it is. I love to refer and recommend businesses to friends and community members, and I don't feel I can offer much in the way of referrals to Alignable members at this point. Is it normal to feel that way? Either of you have an answer for that, Jason?
Yes, it is normal to not have confidence, and that's all it is. You're just not confident in what you're doing because you just started your business. So I tell everybody this, and remember this for the rest of your life. You are already dope. You already got everything that you need. You already have so many tools and resources in you already. Your opinion is already valuable. So just talk to people and ask questions about what they have going on, and what pops into your mind will be useful to them. So you don't have to have a bunch of stuff already established and 17 websites and 16 books. We still got to catch up to Sue with all of the books, man. So so until then though, but you're still a resource because you have your experience. You actually know stuff, right? So just show up and have conversations, and good things will start coming out. Half of the stuff that I say in conversation, it's like I didn't preload it. It kind of just happened. So be in the moment.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right. Any other questions? Because I am happy to put you in a breakout room and let you guys go have some fun so you can get to know people and start building relationship. Any
Yeah,
last minute questions? Okay, if you do have to leave, that's okay, but I will open up the breakout rooms. And I'm not going to give you a prompt. I'm going to hope that you know what to do and what not to do. And please don't go in that breakout room and be this. All right, I'm going to let you into breakout rooms. If I see you alone in a room, I will move people around. Have fun. I think you need to hit the join button. There they go. They're going. Everybody going?
Oh, I'm going to join. I got a thing to join. I'm going to join.
Oh, you did? Go join. Okay. Got some people not. Okay, if you're still sitting on the screen, push your join button. Push your join button if you're still on the screen.
I don't have one. I just came in, so I'm a little late.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to just move you.
Thank you.
All right, push your buttons. Darren, are you there? Sue, are you there? Sue Rudolph?
we can put them in the waiting room.
Yeah, so, okay, so I'm going to move people here. Oh, okay. Oh, Glow and Jason are together in a room. Okay.
Oh, Sue's coming back in. Okay, you guys that are still in this room, if what's going on, Sherry? There's supposed to be a join button.
Yeah, there should all have a join button.
Should I let this other person? I'll let him in.
Oh yeah, he was in. I don't know what happened. He might have got booted.
Okay.
All right, let's get you all moved around here.
Right back.
Okay, push your join button. Michael, I put you in a room, so you just need to push your join button. There you go. Ernest, you should have a join button there.
The individual rooms dilute the purpose of the webinar today.
Well, it's just so people can practice what we taught.
Did you boot him?
Okay, so I'm moving Sue again back in the waiting room. Okay, they're just not there. Okay. So those people that are in the waiting room are not around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you boot him?
No.
Oh, he went. He
Yeah.
left, or he's in a room.
No, I think he left. Oh, Cindy's in a room by herself. Hold on.
Should I remove those two or what? Well, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
hold on.
I don't think we should do more. Let's just let 'em
No,
for a little
I'm
bit.
not.
It's
I just
getting
wanted,
late.
I was hoping we could all, just you and Jason and I would stay on here and just kind of recap why they were talking, but that was fine.
That's all right. Let's just tell everybody goodbye and that,
So let them, let's see, what's, I don't know. What's the countdown?
somebody's note takers in a room.
Yeah, they're in a room by themselves, so they're not going in. So nobody's alone.
Oh, there's only a few people.
Yeah. So
Oh.
I'm gonna
Bring him back.
I'm just, yeah, in just a second. We'll give it a second. I think it went pretty good.
Yeah, I have to admit I was getting tired there, but halfway through yours going, okay, I wonder if everybody and people, a lot of people tend to be looked like they were leaving.
So I tracked the hours. It's like at 2:13 when you started, there was 114 people.
Mhm.
At 2:53, a couple people left. At 3:03, we were down to 98.
Mhm.
At 3:15, we were down to 89. And at 3:50, before I came on, we were at 56.
Oh,
So
wow.
we lost quite a few after you and during Jason. And then I think we lost more because at 4:03 when we stopped, we were at 34 for me. So that was who was left. So it was interesting.
We've had 152 people log in.
Yeah, they weren't there. There was 100 because I kept watching it because I was tracking it.
Okay, let's let everybody back in and wrap it up.
Okay, close the rooms.
We could have taken a break, maybe. I was thinking of, I wonder if we should take a break, but let's get rid of this.
Well, Cody does after an hour and a half.
Let me remove this note taker.
Huh?
I'm removing the note taker.
Oh,
I hate those. I actually decline them when they pop.
I don't let them in any of my stuff.
Mm-mm. I hate them. Did you stop it?
Oh yeah,
How come they're not coming back?
they will.
Oh,
It was like a couple seconds left. 19 seconds, 18 seconds. You must have had a, because this is your Zoom room, so it must have had a 60-second.
no idea. How was it, you guys? Good?
So much fun.
That was just a little fun just to break up.
Yeah, that went fast. Oh, let me mute myself again. I didn't say
Go.
goodbye to my new friends. It was nice to meet you both.
Go to the Smart Connects. That was not a Smart Connect. So go to the Smart Connects because that is where you can start meeting contacts, right? To build connections, to build relationships. It all starts there. Hey,
Well,
Cheryl
I mean an old
Wagner.
and a new friend.
What's that, Fran?
I met an old friend and a new friend.
Yay.
Okay. All right. Well, let's wrap this up. I hope everybody had a good time. I can't believe a few of you stuck around this whole entire almost 2.5 hours. So that was pretty crazy. This was our first time trying this. So definitely, I hope you guys got a lot out of it. Would love to hear your feedback. You're going to get email. Any last minute things, Jason? Sherry?
No, thanks for coming. I appreciate all the good energy, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thank
I
you.
had a question for Miss Sue and Sherry, if I could speak to you all after everyone has hung up, and Mr. Jason too.
Sure,
Yeah.
go real quick.
Go ahead.
No, I'll let everyone hang up first.
Oh, okay. You want to talk to us privately?
Not necessarily, but I mean, I don't want to hold people up.
Well, that's okay. You can
Yeah,
ask
that's okay.
questions in the Alignable University, but quick, if you have a really quick question, go ahead and ask it real quick.
So I was just wondering, do you all come out and do speaking for different network groups?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
all do.
All right.
All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. Go read my book.
It's a pretty
Jason
good
and
book.
Jerry and Jason are gonna have theirs out really, really soon. I'm giving you two. I'm putting you on notice. I need those books done so we can do a big.
Okay. Now that this is over, I will focus on it. Fran, you'll be hearing from me shortly.
Awesome. There, Fran got my book too. She got
Sue, remind us of your book. I took so many notes. Please remind us.
network. Well, Fran's holding it up. The
Oh.
link though is everywhere. It's on Alignable. It's on just go to my Alignable profile, and you can go. There's a link there that'll take you right to the book. So
Great,
everything's
thank
on
you.
the Alignable profile. So thanks, you guys. Jason, you're amazing. Sherry, you're amazing. This was fun.
Always a good time.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.